Hello and welcome to the first lecture of this new section on what does it take to succeed? What are the success factors for implementing Agile HR? So in this section, we will help you understand these Agile HR success factors and we begin talking about them partly in this lecture and remaining part in the next lecture. So what do you think? What does it take to successfully implement Agile HR? Any thoughts? Now, doing this requires a combination of few things like strategic planning, cultural transformation, buy-in of the leadership, and the use of agile methodology. Now, what are the key factors in making this happen? Let's take a look at them as we go forward in the next lecture. First thing, you need to have an agile mindset and a culture. You need to adopt that across the organization. Agile HR thrives in a culture where there is this growth mindset, where continuous learning, experimentation, adaptability are encouraged. HR teams need to adapt a growth mindset, focusing on learning from failures and embracing change. Employee and managers should be open to iterative processes, where strategies and solutions are continuously refined based on the feedback. And Agile HR emphasizes collaboration across the department and requires a culture where teams work closely with another, sharing insights and remain transparent in decision making. So, first and most important thing is to adopt this agile mindset and a culture. Then, leadership mind and support is the next most important thing, if I can say that. Senior leadership must fully understand and support the agile practices. They should promote a culture of flexibility and autonomy, empowering HR and other teams to take decisions without overly rigid hierarchicals. And another practice that helps is appointing agile champions within the leadership team that can guide and advocate for on agile practices. These champions can ensure that agile is just not adopted at superficial level, but is embedded throughout the organization. So leadership buy-in and support is extremely important. Nothing would happen without that. Then you need to get on with agile training and upskilling. HR professionals need training in agile methodology, including key practices like Scrum, Kanban, and design thinking. And understanding agile principles such as sprints, stand-ups, and feedback loop is critical. Along with HR, managers and employees across the organization need to be trained in agile approaches. Agile is most effective when the entire organization understands and works with these practices. Cross-functional collaboration in team is again a critical thing. Forming agile squads and team, just as agile organization use cross-functional teams, cross-functional squads. HR can need to implement agile by forming small autonomous teams that focus on specific HR functions like recruitment, performance management, or learning and development. And what you need to do is to encourage team autonomy, where the teams are empowered to make decisions, iterate quickly, and experiment with new ideas without waiting for higher level approvals. So cross-functional collaboration in teams along with empowerment and freedom to act is extremely critical. Then you need to have a system by which people can embrace continuous feedback. Uh, you need to implement continuous feedback loops between employees, managers, and HR teams. HR replaces continuous, by continuous ongoing reviews, the traditional performance with frequent check-ins, promoting ongoing dialogues in real-time adjustments. You need to have data and employee input, and there you need to collect and act on employee feedback through things like pulse surveys, feedback platforms, and informal feedback sessions. Agile relies on feedback to adjust and improve process. Now, what are these pulse surveys? Let's spend a minute in the next slide in understanding what are the pulse surveys. Now, the pulse surveys are short, surveys carrying 5 to 10 questions about employees' overall behavior, their relationship with other employees, job roles and engagement, and anything else that is critical for you. What do these do? These surveys reveal the health of the organization, and that's why the name is Pulse Surveys. With these surveys, you can find areas of improvement and track the changes by doing the surveys repeatedly month after another, right? So these are Pulse surveys. There are agile processes and tools that you need to know and implement. You need to apply agile practices to recruitment and onboarding by focusing on faster iterative processes that can be easily ingested based on business needs. You can consider using agile tools like Trello and Jira for collaboration to track the progress of recruitment pipelines, candidate interviews, and onboarding steps. Then you need to replace the annual performance review with continuous feedback, uh, development discussions, and goal setting that are frequently revisited and adapted based on the individual and organizational needs. Instead of one size fits all training program, you will need to implement the on-demand learning platforms such as LinkedIn Learning or Udemy that allow employees to take courses based on their unique needs, interests, and evolving roles. So what do we do next? So we have more things coming up in the more of these success factor coming up in the next lecture. So we will continue talking about what are the remaining success factor that you need to keep in mind and to implement Agile HR. And that's what you need to plan your strategy around. So thank you so much for watching this first lecture on success factors in this course Agile HR. I hope you are continuing to learn new things, continuing to enjoy, and I do look forward to see you again in the next lecture. Please feel free to message me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to answer your questions, and do download the PDF file to take a look at anything that you need to.